Oh, Arbel, you're gonna love it out here. It smells so good. You wanna see the cows? Yeah, it's a big puppy. What does the cow say? And some of them are just looking at us because they don't know what's going on. Pretty cool, huh? Oh wow, they still have it. No one bought it. We are going to cook some ribeyes and some skirt steak. So the other cool thing too is that they partnered up with another local farm to bring in the dairy and then eggs. Good eggs. I can't believe no one picked this up. I saw it online. You want your milk from here? Okay. Yeah. Sweet. Awesome. Go, go, go. Well, should we go see if we can see the horse? All right, come on, honey. Whoa, watch where you step. There they are. There's the horses.
Hi, horse. The horse is not talking me.
And then there's some calves back there. There, the little baby cows. What does it smell like?
I don't know.
They could be in the window, but I don't think they're in the window.
Bye. What's that?
It's a puddle.
Is this the only place you get your meat from?
Yeah.
See you later.
So in today's Cooking 101 class for steaks, we just got done visiting Forever Vos Farms, local here to Burlington. I use these 3 ingredients here to marinate my skirt steaks. So then you get this. That's a cow. It's awesome. Probably shouldn't use plastic Ziploc bags. I probably should put it in glass, but you know, whatever. This is a skirt steak that's in here that's been marinating for 14 hours. So that'll be good. He slices, he dices, he lost his finger.
Which continent does that look like?
Well, the viewers at home will have to answer that question. We're letting these bad boys come to room temperature. We're gonna pad them dry. Then we're gonna season them. Yeah, so we're gonna use a little avocado oil. Avocado oil. Oh, wow. What's happening there? They're kind of thick, so we're gonna salt them. Oh, stop. Oh, oh. So now these steaks are salted and they will go over here. Make start. Gosh, I hope I have propane. I would love to cook over wood, just don't have that option right now. My plan is in this back corner over here to build out a fire pit. For now, we're just gonna stick with the oven and we're gonna stick with the grill. So the oven has hit the temperature we want. And because we're reverse searing these ribeyes, what reverse searing means is that you get this to the internal temperature you want, and then at the end, you sear it. This goes in, and so we're gonna set our timer for 38 minutes, because we're looking to get the internal temp about 120. I'm putting the skirt steaks on. Dylan!
Why do you do this?
Well, I'm cleaning off all the old char from the last burn. All right, so what do you got?
Favorite cuts of meat?
Favorite cuts of meat. Bacon, 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 and more bacon. Now, when it comes to my favorite cuts of steak, usually I would have said ribeye, 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 but then I got introduced to Voss's skirt steak a couple years ago that we're about to throw on the old grill here, and it is without a doubt gonna be skirt steak, tri-tip, ribeye, rib roast, which I purchased.
Is there any meats that you should not grill?
Oh yeah, that was a good question. So cuts of steak you're not gonna grill. I mean, any roast, like you would sear a roast, which you could do. I wouldn't do it on the grill. I would just do it on a stainless or a cast iron and on the stovetop. Careful. Let's go from there.
The worst person at cooking at a paintball event you've ever been to?
Everyone, none of them. They're all terrible. I don't know that anyone makes a good meal. This was all one big piece that I cut into thirds. Whoa, don't fall through. Jiminy Christmas. So this piece will cook pretty quick. You can tell by just pressing on them, feeling how firm, tender they are, how well they're done. And then one of the rules to do that is by pushing on your thumb with your fingers. And so by the time you get to your pinky, you'll tell that this is hard. That's like well done. And you get to like medium, rare. The tricks of the trade, my friend, tricks of the trade. If you don't like the red, pink in your steak, then get out. It's like if you like turn your coffee from black to white.
Oh, bro.
Get out. What are you doing?
Are you making coffee in there? It smells good.
Sydnee did ask for coffee, and then she fell down the stairs. She skidded gracefully down the stairs.
Oh my God, babe.
No. Did you fill out a waiver?
What is happening?
Did you get that on film?
I did.
Damn, I was just happy you weren't rolling.
Your son shot her in the face.
And so, would you get hit? You get smoked?
Shot me right in the heart.
Yeah, hey, it's danger zone, man. See, safety goggles always have to be on. Might look nice on the outside, but once you step in there, it gets a little crazy.
Why you're crying?
Yeah.
So something that I've learned in paintball that translates into what I've been able to do locally in the community, in getting sponsored years and years ago by the Badlands and Rennick, and promoting the field and promoting Shock Tech and the products that he provided to us at a discount, right? Because we're getting stuff for free, was just being loyal to the brand. And so in being in town and dealing with the coffee shop, and in this case too, Voss, I love the product, and so I'm gonna promote it. And I learned that through paintball and being sponsored throughout the years and knowing what it's like to give back, and then that bearing fruit, because at the end of the day, it helps them out and helps me out. And again, I enjoy doing this. And so here we are, doing it for you at home. What would my steakhouse be called? I don't know. Moo now. Uh-oh, is that my sister?
What up, Sam?
And this thing, I got this from my mother-in-law when I was living in Florida, and so it's been through some tropical storms.
Grills are like paintball guns. You gotta clean them.
This is what I do. I do clean this stuff. I don't leave my paintball guns outside exposed to the elements 365 days a year, so.
Yes, chef.
Yeah, dude, it just got so cold. So, oh yeah, skirt steak is set. Well, cooked. It's cooked. Cool.
How is it?
Oh, it's so good.
How does your steak fit in your like first form nutrition and diet?
Protein, protein, protein.
I put you down.
You're down. You're down.
Impact. What the hell's going on there?
Oh yeah, we had a good conversation on PDG about like, this had to be the craziest offseason, right? And I was like, well, Marcelo, you and Tyler, you started it. The first domino always has to fall somewhere. Last year, Dynasty takes Danny Schonauer. That causes Level to fall apart. That causes Aftershock to come back in the Pro Division, right? So when you try to measure what's crazier, I think it just comes down to get yourself together. There's no peace in this house.
What do you think it means for Impact?
You know, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Chiefs on that team, so I would love to be there when the fingers start getting pointed about someone not doing their job or whatever. Every season has had crazy stuff happen. It's just how much do we blow it up and we like sensationalize. And now I think with the thing that's different, easier to track those dominoes and the ripples that come from those moves, right? Because Impact takes players from Damage, Impact takes players from Diesel, and Impact takes players from Heat. And Dynasty, right? And they take people from Dynasty. So that just means that those 4 teams that have somewhat of a budget and sponsorship are gonna go out there and start taking other players from other teams. So one team took players from 4 teams, so now those 4 teams are gonna take players from 16 teams, and in Heat doing so, just like last year, there's no more blast cam. So we've lost the pro team 2 years in a row because of player moves. That first official move to happen caused a lot.
You just stick it right in the bum hole.
115, 119, 121.
Would you consider that like a meat chronograph?
Meat chronograph? No, we're not measuring the speed of anything. Well, I guess Heat's the measure of how fast molecules are moving or whatever. Shut up, Dylan! Oh yeah, so when you sear it, you need it piping hot. Let's fire it up. Yep. Oh, that was a lot of garlic salt. We're not gonna talk about it. Buddy, what are you doing? This is why we do this outside. Heads up, we're cooking out. Watch it, we're moving. That's hot. Smoking my house up. Hey, do you like this smell better, or do you like the smell of the barn?
Ew, no thanks.
What was the barn smell like? It smelled like poop.
So Cody Mikowski. So you got a new coach, Cody?
Chris Jansen.
Yeah.
He's a local.
And you got Archie Barnes, new snake player, and you brought Omara back.
Yep.
Why'd you guys change your name?
Top 4 was the original owner of Arsenal back when Arsenal was a force to be reckoned with.
There was more wins between you two.
Yeah.
You got more dubs?
Yeah, Heat.
Compounds. What the fuck is up with that, Nicholas?
I don't know. I think it ultimately probably was a little expensive for Mark Franz and the team to function, and so they just merged for shave cost. Definitely kind of hurts X Factor because I know they wanted to have Axel again.
Hurricanes, they lose their head coach. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal, but I think it'll be good for them because like nothing against Mike. I think Mike does great, and maybe this will give them a little more freedom to blossom.
Aftershock picks up Connor Kelly. You were on the team at that point.
Yeah,
What do you think of that move?
I think, you know, Todd coached Connor for 1 or 2 years on Heat, so like there's some insider info there, but could you put LJ Parrish over there and have him play the snake? Absolutely, but I think most people would agree he's a bigger threat. The Doritos, he did help the Ironman in 2020 win that Vegas tournament by playing the snake really well. But they've got Clay Hughes and Ryan Hodgkinson over on the snake side, and then you have 3 pickups from the Bears, one of which I think Joey Baltimore can play on the snake side. So like that kind of overloads Shock, and how's Connor gonna earn that starting spot? Would you like this opened? Here you go. So the Ironman grabbing Pat Kraft and Jerry Caro, losing Geiger, losing Omara. They picked up 2 attackers and they lost 2 attackers. You've got Kyle, who's arguably their number 1 on the Doritos side that did really well. Where do you mix in Pat Kraft with him? Jerry would be the number 1 on the snake to replace Zach, so that kind of works out. I think they can be a pretty solid team, a sleeper team. So yeah, Dynasty lose Marcelo, they lose Chris Shear, and they pick up Joe Barrett and they pick up Kyle Berry. Because I think Joe and Kyle are really good listeners and communicators, and they just do their job. And I think they're gonna be put in a position where they're not gonna have a choice, because Ryan and Yosh and Alex will tell them that. You've got Blake Yarber, who easily didn't play as much as I would have thought he should have last year. So like they get him in the mix a little bit more up the middle. You got Yosh and Ryan in the back, filtering out, and then you throw in Arturo and Fry. I think it'll be a solid year for them. I mean, you can never count them out with how well they've done the last 4 or 5 years. On the flip side, if you look at Infamous, you know, they picked up 3 in Zach Geiger, Trevor Reeser, who played for the team previously, and then Rob Velez. I think that's good for them because, you know, Callie has been having to deal with personal stuff and been in and out. So Rob will fill that role really well as a smart communicator and a back guy that has really good field awareness. And then Trevor, all around, just a really good dude who's got really good field awareness as well, like Rob, but is just a little more of a threat because he can go either way. away and attack, and he does a good job of seeing those open holes and just taking advantage of them and putting himself in the right place at the right time to make stuff happen. But just being involved in the industry and knowing things, Heat was the one team that they get rid of Fedorov. They are always looking to pick up certain players. Those deals fell through, and they were kind of at the dance, they were the last ones to try and find a chair before the music stopped. And they made a pretty coordinated move by taking probably easily, arguably the three best players off of Blast Camp. And you know, that does a lot to a team and to a home team out of a home field that plays there all the time. That, you know, has backing, but not a lot. You know, that money is all self-grown. So that's a big blow. That happened. We'll talk about again, crazy times. Virgil loses 3 of his best guys. Calculated move by Heat. He's like, you know what? Like, what are my options now? I got to find 3 guys to replace these dudes. You know, it doesn't have the money to pay people, so they have to be brought up from the divisional ranks. And you know, what does that mean for the team and how they perform and how much money he's spending? So he made a decision to sell the team to the Sea Dogs. The double prize package they got for winning semi-pro, and probably some more money on top of that went to pay for their pro spot. So now you have what you can arguably say is the second Canadian, but probably the first true all-Canadian team in a long time, because you know, nothing against Impact, they're not all Canadian. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they do as a divisional team getting that spot. And a lot of those guys are good paintball players.
Russian Legion. I heard that they were trying to pick up a bunch of people this offseason, but they landed on Mike Arena.
So Red Legion were in desperate need of like having a dedicated snake player. They lost Samotrov to I don't know what. And he was doing really well for the team. Young, up-and-coming dude, fast, just raw athletic talent, but he's gone. So Red Legion needed a snake guy. And yes, I heard they were throwing around some big figures to pay people, but the requirements there were, you know, they've got to come to Florida, you got to be in Tampa, and you got to train. And for a lot of people and where we're at in our lives, that's a tough thing to do. I kind of saw this happening once the news with Impact broke. I figured Arena would get a call, and he did, and he made the choice to leave Impact, which I think is probably a smart move if you want to get a lot of play time. So I think that was a good move. The interesting thing with Diesel, they underperformed all year. They had a terrible year. Cody, we saw earlier, left the team before Cup gets released so he can go play for Revo, which is now Arsenal. And they cut Ryan Gray as the coach, or they part ways. And you see Mark Johnson, who's played all year, become the coach, which is probably the smartest thing for that team. It's nothing against Mark. It's not to say that he can't play well. What do you know? They have one of the best tournaments they have all year. Should have been playing in the finals, but let's just call it stupid play, like moronic play by individuals on that team cost them. They have no one to blame but those individuals, right? Alex Gobin leaves, no surprise there. And they pick up Jared Lackey, who had some pretty good tournaments with damage to replace him in the snake, which is great. So like, I think they should have a solid year. If you go back and you listen to how Mark talked to his guys in the pits in between any of their matches, he says some really good stuff. Like the guy's, he's smart. So I thought when he was coaching, he did a great job. So he keeps that up. I would say Diesel is in the finals easily in 2025.
You're off that juice right now, bro? You on that 2%, that 3%, that whole man? X Factor picks up Archie. Is that a bigger move for X Factor or a bigger move for Dynasty?
There's no denying that Archie is one of, if not one, like the greatest players to ever play. The way he sees things for one time and can execute it immediately, the way he hits shots from both a laner in the back center to playing up front, up the middle, wherever he goes, is phenomenal. But he's gotten married, he's gone to a couple Burning Mans, but I was impressed by just how he carried himself on the last few years with Dynasty and obviously what they've accomplished. If that stays true, then I think that team can finally start winning. Because that's a team that should, you know, they had a finals appearance, but like they should have more wins than they have based on that roster and how well they've done.
If you look at it from like a paper, Archie upgrades his team.
Yes, on paper, Archie's an upgrade to any team. You know, look at Diesel, on paper, they should have been in the finals and won tournaments based on their roster and the accolades of those individuals on the roster, but they didn't. And so you have to measure what, when they did well at the end of the year, what changed. And obviously those changes bore some fruit. You know, if you want to dig deeper and ask yourself those critical questions about this happened, and try and connect the dots, then you'll get to the puzzle, the bottom of the puzzle, or the last piece of the puzzle. I don't know. Because that was a lot. New pro team, leverage earns your way up. Do I think they can win a tournament like Fit? Anything could happen. And, you know, does Leverage have that opportunity? Sure they do. You play mistake-free and consistent and well, and you keep a level head. The refs don't give you too many bad calls. Yeah, you could win a paintball tournament. So yeah, anyone can win, and I think that's been shown. So, I mean, that's kind of a little wrap up on how I cook some of my steaks. A little reverse sear ribeye and some grilled skirt steaks from Vos Farms. Shout out to those guys. I can't stop thinking about it too. Just eat the pancakes and come over here. You're just like... And then obviously shout out to all you guys that ask questions about grilling and off-season stuff. But we're looking to do more of these. Dylan and I tag teaming and getting a little wild and crazy. So I think there was a question about something about bourbon.
Oh yeah, it's like when you're cooking an 8-ounce to medium rare, how much bourbon should you drink?
How much bourbon do you drink? Well, we'll do some Jack Daniels. I think that's a decent little amount there.
That's a decent amount.
That's a decent amount. Well, I don't drink like I used to, so. I got 3 little kids running around. I gotta be somewhat non-cross-eyed. So this is a healthy amount that should have been drank outside while grilling.
Thank you.
This is a single barrel proof rye from Jack Daniels. So this is 66.65% alcohol. So if you're used to a more wheated or mellow or like Buffalo Trace 50% alcohol by volume, this is gonna knock your socks off. So if we could have seen Dylan's face, or still see Dylan's face right now.
Thank you for watching Grillin' Shit with Nick. Thank you for doing everything that you do. He also bought this camera that he's going to.
Shut up and drink already.
No, going up to this guy, just being a trooper all freaking day.
Don't shake babies.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I like how he just calls you dude.
This is episode 1. We hope to do this way more than one time, but we can't do that without your guys' help. We're not asking you for money.
I'm asking you for money.
Nick's asking you for money, so you can Venmo him.
Yeah, Todd Abson's not paying me anymore.
Choose whatever company you like.
Hope you shut up and just drink.
Thank you for helps us a lot.
Maybe come back next week and fire the hole.
Dork boy. I can see up your nose. When is it from?
If I didn't think the video would break, I'd turn.
You look like a zombie.
Yeah.